Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and here on my channel I post physiotherapy, university and travel related content. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe, notification bell to all so you never miss a video. So in this video, I want to touch upon leadership, some things I learned while I was at the Future Frontline Student Conference up in Leeds at the NHS Academy. And it was a great experience. I spoke, did a presentation there while I was there, and the presentation, if you don't already know, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should probably follow me on Instagram, but to be fair, I don't post as much as I usually should do, but yeah, because my main focus lately is just focusing on YouTube. But anyway, basically I did a presentation on how we can utilize social media as healthcare professionals or healthcare students as a powerful tool to like help connect with other people, help empower other people, and kind of like what I think I'm successfully doing based off what some of you guys say in your comments. Yeah, like helping inspire, empower others, connecting with each other, and as a good professional platform as well, depending on how you wish to use social media. So yeah, I did a little talk on that. It went very, very well. I'm very happy with how well it went, considering how nervous I was about doing it, and I'm open to the idea of doing something like that again. So if you know any good conferences, let me know. Maybe I might be interested. Anyway, after that, so we had several talks throughout the day. We had two guest speakers, student speakers. I was one of those student speakers, and then we had like just general other talks about what the event was going to be up to. So I'm looking over at my notes over here. This is cool. I just want to touch upon some things that was spoken about like leadership and how to be a good leader versus a bad leader, and some qualities that you think are involved. Like before attending this event, 2 weeks prior at uni, we did cover leadership and like types of leaders, types of stuff like that, and I feel like I learned a bit, but not as much as I learned here at this event. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. But yeah, so I didn't cover as much as I did. I covered more than I did in class basically, but I just want to read out some of the top tips of how to be a good leader, and some of the takeaway topics are like takeaway tips are knowing yourself, knowing like what your values are, understanding your values, always being kind, being inclusive, taking action, being a curious person, learning from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's always important to learn from them, and a mistake can be viewed in various different ways. It's really about what we do from there. Like one of you guys commented on my video where I mentioned that I failed an assignment, and I can't remember the word verbatim or of what you guys said, but it was like a very good comment about like when we fail, we could either stay down or like we could bring ourselves back up and learn from our failures. I'm sorry if I'm butchering what you said, but like it was a really good comment. I appreciated it. We've got others like, again, know your values, appreciate others, embrace the good, and be self-aware. Like we all have qualities that probably need developing, but it's about being aware of them and not trying to be blind to them, and it's about being like open to taking criticism from others as well as giving criticism. Makes a good leader a person being able to listen, taking initiative. Like those of us that went to that event, we took the initiative to go there. No one forced us to go there. We chose to take that time out of our day, or take that time off a placement, or take that time out of class and go up there and learn something and connect with other people of the MDT. There were about 15 other professions covered there, so about 50 of us were there, but 15 professions were covered. So we had like physio, SALT team, midwifery, adult and child nurses, pediatricians. There was another one I'm forgetting. I mean doctors as well, like junior doctors, student doctors, medical students. We had that as well. Moving on, some other tips I took away from that. We spoke about like the MD team. Obviously we had many different professions in the room, so it made sense to talk about how we could work as a team, and the event really encouraged us to not just stick with like that's the physios or someone you knew. Like I didn't know anyone going in there, like that's why I didn't really have anyone to stick to, but it's like they broke us up into like a little team for a little game, trying to come up with inventive ways of how the MDT like framework team, yeah, can work better together and like improve. And they like had, let's say in my group it was 1 physio, 2 doctors, 1 occupational therapist. That was us again, occupational therapist. 1 occupational therapist, a midwife, a member of the SALT team, and that's so annoying. I can hear an ambulance right now and I can't remember the paramedic. There you go. I was like, oh, I had the clue about the paramedic. But yeah, so UTC was a really good team. In that event, we also spoke about like, so barriers to the MDT. So whether that being like access to information, whether that being teamwork, not having good teamwork, or that could be a benefit or a barrier. It's just like basically the whole event was very good in getting us to think about these things that I feel like you think about but you don't really think about on a bigger scale. Another thing, so I can skip over there, spoke about health inequalities, which I think is a big factor to consider. I don't know what other people have been on placements or what people have seen. I think it's very interesting when you do placements in such a big area. So I do placements in the East Midlands because obviously I go to University of Birmingham, that's where it's based, East Midlands. No, West Midlands. East, yeah, West Midlands. East is Leicester. So I'm in the West Midlands and all the placements are based around there. And then it's very different, the populations that you see, placement to placement. So my first placement was down where it was, I'm not going to say the location, but in that area it was very, not wealthy, but people had money, and you could tell, like, not just like by the way they presented themselves, but the things they knew, like their health literacy was much better compared to some other placements I've been on in other areas. So it's like interesting to think about health inequalities in that sense and how many things come into a factor. So factors that affect health inequalities is like someone's geography, as I was mentioning, vulnerable groups, so someone has like say learning disabilities, or like maybe an asylum seeker, those things can impact their health inequalities. Social, basically income, money, social, economical, yeah, I don't know why I struggled on that word. Social economical factors and protective factors such as age, race, gender, and so on and so forth. These are things that like I think we don't really take into account a lot and we should think about more. There's also other things that they mentioned other than like the geography, the protective characteristics, as I was saying. They mentioned like biases, type of biases, and getting us to think about like what type of biases we may have. So one of them were affinity bias. So it's like something familiar, something you connect with, those type of biases. Impact bias, like automatically, unintentionally, having judgmental or decisions. I'm tired. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to pop up quickly, but I'm back. The last thing I wanted to talk about was bias. Bias was something that really got us to think about, because all of us are biased in some type of way, and it's not necessarily always a bad thing. But it's also always a very good thing for us to acknowledge that we have that type of bias. And if we choose to learn about it and improve from it, then that's on us. But anyway, probably butchered that again as well. But yeah, all in all, it was a good day. I definitely encourage you guys to go to things like that and get involved in talks and get involved in events where you can mingle with other members of the MDT, because at placement you see them around, but you don't really know a lot about them. Like some of those professions I thought I knew what they did, and quite frankly I didn't know what they did when I talked to them. It was kind of like, oh, you do more than what I think you do. You know what I mean? And they said the same thing. They're like, oh, I didn't realize a physio would be in this role. And it's like, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't know what's coming up soon. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye.